In the scene and the industry and all that kind of stuff, were you just bumming around with the boys, or were you
Yeah,
part
so
of
like
it?
first of all, like I was like a street kid, used to do all nighters in the city, and like the weekend comes, the city comes alive.
Hey, what's good, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the Art of Development. And if you've already felt like you've seen this before, you probably have. You probably definitely check out part one, which is probably the video right before this. And definitely check it out. It's right above Ari's head. It's in the eye, top corner, right there. Click on it now if you haven't already. But if you have seen part one, get ready for the industry to evolve, because we're about to get nitty gritty and very deep of the development of how the industry was,
And how it's changed, actually.
how it's changed a lot.
It's a huge change in 10 years, actually.
Yeah, and to be very specific, we're talking about the nightlife
The scene.
scene
The night
in,
scene,
in Sydney.
Yeah, 100%, because it's had a
Yeah.
huge dramatic change
Yeah,
in 10 years, because I've been involved in the whole era.
yeah, for sure. So when did this start?
When did I start clubbing?
Yeah,
I was 15.
15.
Yeah, so I haven't
That's right.
grown since I was 15. I was one of those early shooting up kids.
Yeah,
So, like, at 15, I could go get cigarettes. I could go get drinks.
yeah.
No ID
It was
check.
just during the time when you were being very rebellious.
Yeah, but it was high school. So I was like,
Yeah.
when in high school you're experimenting, I started
course.
clubbing in high school.
Yeah, and very young as well.
Very young. But I look like a full grown man.
Yeah.
If anyone that knows me from back then knows I still
Yeah.
literally am the same size.
Yeah.
I haven't grown 1 inch since then.
Yeah.
Probably grown a lot in like wisdom,
Yeah.
and kind of life experience, but not physically grown.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my cock still doesn't. I can't find it half the time.
That's all right. But honestly, I can't find mine as well. I have to
man,
get a tweezer, bro.
Yeah, half the time I gotta be like, oh wait, that looks like a clit.
Oh man. But when you were like in the scene and the industry and all that kind of stuff, were you just bumming around with the boys, or were you
Yeah,
part
so
of
like
it and-
first of all, like I was like a street kid, used to do all nighters in the city, and like the weekend comes, the city comes alive. Used to go to Hunter Bar. My uncle.
What was Hunter Bar?
So Hunter Bar was the old Frankie's. So
Frankie's.
so what Frankie's is now was the
Yeah.
original Hunter Bar.
Wow.
So they used to do XO back then on Saturday night.
yeah.
Actually, I'm still friends with a lot of those people, and they
Mm.
have not changed over the years. Like we're still the same type of people we were then.
Yeah.
And XO was like the Saturday night, and then
Mm.
Sunday was like daydreams.
Yeah.
So my uncle's friend Jonah,
Yeah.
who used to play touch with on Saturday in it's not Belmore, is it Bellside or
Balmain.
where's the pool? Belfield?
Belfield?
Is it like like near Croydon?
Yeah, yeah. Next to
There's like that pool, the aquatic center. Ashfield, is it Ashfield?
I think it's Ashford.
Is it aquatic center? There's like an aquatic center, and then there's like a huge park where they play like touch during the week, cricket on the weekends.
Not Lidcombe, no. it's
No,
not
no,
that.
no. So when anyways, like so that was one of my uncle's touch mates, my uncle Sike, who actually lives in Brisbane now.
Mm.
And my cousins Anna and Tuskova still live in that area.
Mm.
With my auntie Muffa, who I miss so much. Her cooking's like, bruv, like my mum can cook, but her baking is like
You gotta
her
love auntie's
pastries.
cookings, bro. Straight
Buzz.
out.
I used to funny story. I used to get hidings right from my uncle that lived with my mum.
Yeah.
The one uncle who doesn't have wife and kids, but is very diligent in how he lives life. Like
Yeah, for
super
sure.
disciplined. Like doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, just works hard and takes care of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So like one day I got in trouble at school smoking. My brother at the time, my middle brother Alex, a bit of a snitch. He hated me as a teenager.
Mm.
Like true story. We laugh about it now because we're adults.
Yeah, of course.
But back then he hated my guts, and he kind of like told my mum that I was smoking, and then like my mum got angry, and then the one time I laid hands on my mum, which is like I still regret that decision because I was just pissed off.
Mm.
It just reminded me of my dad like hitting my baby brother. And like I'm fiercely protective of my baby brother. Like my baba is my baba. Like I literally like asked my family. I taught him his first steps.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
so I literally
What's the age gap between your youngest brother and you?
8 years.
8 years.
So like by the time I was in primary school, he was just born.
yeah.
Like I think I just started. But like
Yeah.
so I saw my mum like just kind of like giving it to him, like hacking into him.
Yeah.
And it brought back bad memories of my dad doing it. Like it triggered me,
Yeah,
and
so
I
it's
pushed
like
my mum.
PTSD.
Kind of like yeah. So like PTSD, and at the time I was emotionally still very immature, and like, and I'm open and transparent enough to know that like I immediately regretted that decision when it happened. It's just that my trauma from like seeing my brother get hit, because the first time I seen it happen to my baby brother, the phone went missing and my uncle had it, but my dad thought it was baby,
Right.
and he beat the shit out of my baby brother, and then my uncle walked down and goes, "Oh, here's the phone."
Yeah.
Yeah, he was looking for the phone and he beat the shit out of my brother, who was
no
completely innocent. Yeah, so it kind of triggered that memory again, and I don't think my mum knows that story, because it's like my baby brother knows that story, and so does my middle brother, because we never forget that. Like that changed my life forever. It's why I've never laid a finger on my baby brother.
For sure.
But that kind of was the worst. Like I should never have laid my hands on my mum. I think I was like 14. I was in a really bad place mentally, emotionally. I was still quite a kid. And then she made the call.
Yeah.
My uncle came home. And funny enough, kids these days will go, "Oh man, that's child abuse." I'm like, "No, nigga, that's called discipline. That's how we grew up. We grew up in a school of hard knocks."
Yeah.
So my uncle beat me. He didn't knock me out, but he beat me to the point where I couldn't go to school for the week. And he's never proud of that. He hates doing that stuff. Yeah. But because just like I am with my baby brother, he's gonna do the same for his sister. You know what I mean? And I crossed the line of disrespect. Like I disrespected my mum in a way I should never have done. I laid a hand on her, and then like beat me up, and then I'll go to my auntie's house.
Yeah.
And then like I'll be there for a week healing up, and my cousins would like take care of me, and my auntie would make food, and I was like, yeah. So it was my safe space. Like my cousins, my girl cousins, I love them so much. My first cousins, they always made sure that when I came over, there was a safe space. Like I could just relax, not think about school, just chill. And they did, like, and my auntie, God bless her soul, my auntie Muffa, like my uncle wasn't really like around all the time, which is cool because my uncle worked.
Was your uncle like a father figure as well to you?
Yeah, 100%. Like 100%. My uncle Sike was like my uncle Sike and my uncle Kalavol are both huge father figures in my life. Obviously, my uncle Vol, he has been an integral part of our life. He's been our dad.
Yeah.
Like people think he's physically my dad. I'm like, nah, that's my mom's brother. But I treat I respect him the way I respect my mum. Like I honor him.
Yeah, for sure.
In that regards, and anyone that knows my family knows that guy's like, he's the guy. He's literally the foundation behind the scene guy.
Yeah,
he hates being known, hates being seen. He loves he's so humble. Like typical Islander tradition. Like just so humble, works hard, takes care of his family, never wants glory, never wants to be known, and just kind of lives his life serving. You know, that Jesus life.
For sure.
But anyway, so back then, like I went to the clubs.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference to what it is now.
Yeah.
Like a massive difference.
Interesting that you said that, but though. Did you take those traits from, your uncles and all that kind of stuff to the scene as well? Because I feel like...
What, the fighting and all that?
No, the fact that they're very conservative and, they're very to themselves, so they're very private and all that kind of stuff.
No. So when I went into the scene, I was very, like... I think Mark is the only person who would know what I was like originally.
Right.
Just outlandishly crazy. There's a lot of stories that he knows that no one else will ever know. His favorite story is actually the bodyguard story. So at Hot Dam, I used to always go to Internet Cafe, and I lived above it. One day, so I was playing with my friend Blackie, my Aboriginal friend, my Indigenous friend, who I haven't seen in a long time. Me, him, and one of the other guys, I think it was Gary, if I can remember, Samoan guy, Gary Mouge. Yeah, and we were just sitting at the Internet Cafe, my mate Mark, like this is the one night I didn't go to Hot Dam at Cuba, and Mark calls me and goes, "Bro, where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at the Internet Cafe, bro, I'm just chilling." He goes, "Man, these fucking lads," and this is when lads were starting to kick off hard.
Like full Aussie bogan lads?
Full blown, full blown Blue Mountains, I'll kick your head in and
lads.
disappear till next week lads.
Yeah, right.
Like TNs, Bum Bags, Nautica. Like they look like Redfern kids, but these kids were from the mountains. Like these were Blue Mountain kids that came for the specific night.
Yeah.
Anyway, these kids started like bashing people. And Mark's like at the front of Hungry Jack's and Oxford Shred at the time. And he's like, "Bro, I need your help." I go, "Yeah, bro, what do you need?" He's like, "Oh, bro, these fucking lads." And I'm like, immediately, I go, "Where are you?" Came straight away. Go to Hyde Park, right? And this is how we this is forever how we solidified our friendship. He calls me and the boys in the Internet Cafe. There's 2 Islanders or 3 Islanders, an Aboriginal and another white kid. the white kid stays. Me and the 2 Islander boys leave, and the Aboriginal guy, my friend Blackie, his name's Steve. Disrespectfully, we call him Blackie, but he called himself Blackie.
Yeah. It's
So
like a boys thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
But
such
like the thing is, he introduced himself as Blackie, so we kind of like we didn't feel so bad because that's how he liked to be called. He didn't want anyone to know his name.
It's not like you guys made it up.
Yeah, exactly. And he so what happened was we went. Me and these 2 boys, we went. There's like 10 lads, bro. And I called Mark again. I go, where are you? I go, I'm at Hyde Park. And he's like, oh, it's those lads. But at the time, the building that's at Hyde Park now, across from Museum Station, was under construction. So it had those pillars, those pillars holding up.
Pillars,
yeah, so these kids are like walking, and I go, oh, bro, what's the time? The kid looks down, and I just went, whack. I just smacked him. Yeah. And then this other kid tried to run away. And Mark's laughing, bro, because what's funny is this kid tried to run away. Yeah. And that pole that holds... I've grabbed the kid from the other side of the pole and just rammed his face into the pole. So I pulled him back as he's running and just knocked him out on the pole. Yeah. We pumped like 10 of these kids, right? And there's only 3 of us. And we're all the same age. I guarantee we're all like 18, 19 at the time. Probably younger. And then like me and the 2 Islander boys, we know you do shit, you get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
So we done the pump. We pumped the shit out of these lads, taught them a lesson, and never came back because they knocked one of my friend Mark's. So Mark's friend, tooth got knocked out, like it broke at the front, and they were like tracking behind. Yeah. And then these cunts were like about 10 meters or 20 meters ahead. Yeah. And then when Mark calls and goes, "Oh, that's them," I go, "Oh yeah, sweet." Put my phone in my pocket. Anyways, after we've done the damage, we literally bashed like 10 of them. So one of my mates runs away because he's on parole. Like he's on probation. He didn't want to get in trouble, which is cool because everyone's like, "Oh, he ran away." I was like, "Nah, but I didn't want to get locked up." I was like, "Oh, I respect that." You know what I mean?
For sure.
I was and he never said anything. He's like, "Nah, he doesn't want to get locked up." That's cool. Like, you protecting yourself. But that's because he just knew we had it. Yeah. So it was just me, my mate Gary. We pumped the shit out of these kids. We run around the corner. So Oxford Street, you're going up, and then you turn right, and then it goes down towards Surrey Hills, like the back part of going towards Goulburn Street. Yeah. So where I think it's the brewery.
Yeah, where the brewery is now.
So you walk out and it's like the other end is like where what's it called now? Harper and Harry's is.
Harper and Harry's.
So that alleyway we walk down there and the cops come.
Isn't that next to the police station as well?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that's the beginning before you get to Surrey Hills. Yeah. So the kids are like, Mark's like, "Oh yeah, sweet. I'll see you back at the internet cafe." I didn't see him again like that night. Yeah. But then the cops come. And it's funnily enough is we've just walked away like it was nothing. All these kids get arrested, these lads, and we get away. And that's that story is one of Mark's. Like if anyone goes, how did we become friends? Yeah. Even though we were friends before that,
that's like, what made it.
We weren't like close. Like we were good mates. Like he would come over my house in the city, like my place in the city, where I lived with LJ and Bugoy back then. Shout out to the old 1305 crew, Buckwhack, if you know who you are. Shout out to there's a few people I got to give a shout out to. Shout out to the Misfits, the old Filipino crew from Pump House. K-Hi, my boy who lives in Townsville. Kimmy, who's now a IBFF bodybuilder.
Oh, damn.
She's like my homie.
She really being doing that bodybuilding stuff.
I think now, I think she's doing it now. I think she's crazy. Some sort of shit like that. Yeah. And then and my boy LJ, aka Mida, from originally from Wellington, Polinar also. Hey, and Bugoy, my older Filipino.
Hey,
that's my Filipino
my
tito.
Fam.
My tito.
My tito.
My tito. Yeah, my tito.
Would you say your scene back in the days was quite violent? Did you ever grow up in like living in the cross in the golden era?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think before the lockout laws, there was a lot of like ego rage fuel,
of course,
alcohol fueled violence, definitely.
Yeah.
But we grew up in like that era of kids, like my era, 18 till probably about 25. We were the kids who used to bash each other at Coogee, at house parties, and then like the Shield, which was like one of the big security companies.
Yeah, I know Shield. Yeah.
So the boys used to do patrol.
Yeah.
Shield, like, there's a lot of great guys that came out of that company. A lot
of Islanders on that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But the Shield, unlike every other company, the Shield is like one big family. And to this day, a lot of the boys who don't work for Shield but know each other from that kind of that industry in that era. Yeah, I've still made a lot of good mates out of that group, and I'm still mates with a lot of people from that day, and still like some of the new gen Shield people. Because I grew up in the era where John Ibrahim was still owning trademark. When John Hopper was,
John Hopper,
when Hopper Wadi was running, like collecting when
Debt collecting.
no, not
Oh,
just collecting profit, checking
Yeah.
in on obviously Ibrahim's
Mm.
assets. I've seen all this shit. I would be lying if I say I was close with these guys, because that's an absolute fucking lie, and I don't need to lie about that shit. I knew who these people were,
Yeah.
but I wasn't on their level.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be on
Were
their
you
level.
like 18, 21 during this time?
Yeah,
or-
100%.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
so you
back
were-
then we had some amazing promoters promoting companies. So we had Pat, who used to do Funky Buddha, Pump House as well back in the days. Anyone that remembers that.
Yeah.
EXO used to be run by Carl Alley and DJ Leon Smith. DJ Leon Smith is an absolute OG when he used to make mixtapes, not
yeah,
anymore.
for sure.
Mr. C, aka Sip Slow Mauso, one of my favorite DJs of all time. Literally, because his mixtapes are shitting on anyone else's mixtapes that have ever come from here. Because he's able to incorporate movie stories into his mixtapes.
That's cool.
So, like, and his family. So, a lot of people don't know he's the original Eastern fucking poster boy. So Wednesday night we used to have the Eastern, which is now El Topo.
Oh, El Topo. Yeah.
And El Topo, shit.
Yeah.
If anyone knows, so Sip Slow, aka Mr. C, aka Big Booger Lips, that guy's actually black. His
Oh, is
dad
it
is from
actually?
the Bay.
Oh, really?
So his dad, his family all live in the Bay Area. So when he drops Bay Area slaps, that's his culture. Like, people think he's just this white kid with fat black lips. Nah, brother, he's actually black. His old man is black. Like,
yeah.
he's African American. He just lives here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's got the Aussie style, Aussie
Yeah,
swag,
yeah.
but he doesn't think the same way as everyone does here
Yeah.
because of his cultural history.
Yeah.
Like, and I fuck with his shit. Like, to this day, like, there's been a lot of great DJs come out. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's DJ Classics like an awesome Samoan DJ. Was an MC first. Now he's killing it. His vibe is just crazy. He knows
for sure.
He knows how to mix. You got DJ Clean Cuts.
Clean
Another one of
Cuts.
Moso's.
Oh, what a guy. He plays that MVP.
Yeah, Ramp.
Yeah.
What's it called? DJ Colossus. My brother, my cousin's husband. Peter Fatmo. There's also the OGs, Peter Guns,
Peter
DJ
Guns.
Tickles. Like,
yeah,
these
yeah.
guys are like OGs. So these guys kind of back then. DJ Motto is actually another one. So back then we had they had DJ crews.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite DJ in a club will always be my Japanese brother from another mother, my big fucking dog DJ Nike.
Yeah.
So DJ Nike is an OG. He does more like Afro beats and shit now.
I love Afrobeats.
But if you know, like, anyone that knows DJ Nike, he's like this little Japanese dude, super respectful, makes takoyaki at his
I
freaking
love
Japanese
takoyaki.
shop. Same. I fucks
Takoyaki's
with
the
takoyaki.
shit, man.
If any cuisine I could live
Have
off,
you ever been to Japan and tasted just takoyaki, bro?
let's not get that
Oh,
conversation. We're here
man.
talking about the industry. But see,
Yeah.
back then, right, and I got nothing against the scene now. Like, it's just dead because of laws.
Yeah, of course. And how restricted
But-
it is now.
But, and I'm going to make this call, I guarantee, because the lockdown laws are gone, it's going to go back to what it was back then.
Oh, for sure.
Because
Especially-
the lockdown's literally just, everyone's just
lifted,
dying to get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, now it is because like the whole COVID stuff. Like everyone's trying to, they just want to party as soon as.
Oh yeah, 100%. But the thing is, so what I was saying about the industry was, now you've got like individual DJs. You don't actually have DJ crews. So back then, one of the first crews that I remember was the Chief Rockers. So you had the Chief Rockers, which was Nike. Shout out to Samurai and also
Samurai, yeah, bro.
who's-
Maddis,
Nino Brown.
Nino
So
Brown.
he was like one of the first radio DJs.
Yeah.
And then you had the All Stars. So the All Stars was DJ Tickles, DJ Peter Guns, the guys who did Fresh Off the Boat.
Yeah.
Then you had Black Label, which was DJ Motto and his crew.
Right.
Then you had the Fingers Crossed, which was Mr. C and their crew. So DJs back then didn't have individual like status. It wasn't, oh, this DJ's that DJ's that. Like DJ Mo de Guya, if you
I
know Mo.
love Tito,
Tito Mo?
No, it's Pare.
Pare
Pare Mo.
Mo. I can't really say that because they're like
It's my body,
we're
bro.
close to ages, like, so.
Yeah, true.
So it's more like Tito. Tito Mo. So they obviously they had their crew. What was
Yeah.
their crew called again? I kind of forgot. So they had their Culture Kings crew, but I forgot the name.
Yeah, I know they have a secret.
Oh, AOP, always on point.
Yeah.
So see, like, Mo basically brought the old style back, and it was fucking sick when it popped off. I remember Mr. C joined. So back then, it wasn't about, oh, who's playing the best bangers? Who's got the most girls? Who's got the most clubs?
Of course.
It was about which crew was where.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was literally about which crew was where. Oh, bro, Black Label's here, Motto's there. You know, oh, All Stars are there, let's go there. Oh, Fingers Crossed is here, let's go there. Like, DJ New Era is another one too. His Fingers Crossed. So all the, like, my brother, that guy I've missed so much. I don't know where the fuck he is. All I know is he's in a good place. Because if he's not out in the scene causing shit, like
that means he's having a good...
That means his life is good. It means he's... Because he's one of those people that's like, he's methodically a great thinker when it comes to mixes. Like his not sex tapes, his mixtapes that he dropped in the last, 3-4 years, the last time I saw him, he dropped it was like a bedrock thing. It's on SoundCloud. You'll see it's DJ New Era. And the first song is Fuck You Back to Sleep, but he mixed Sexual Healing into it.
I love Sexual Healing.
But he drops the bridge after Chris Brown sings. And like that whole mixtape is like one of my favorite mixtapes in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But what made DJs and the scene back then was the hype that DJ Cruz created.
Yeah.
There was no, oh yeah, that DJ's here. We'll go there. Oh, that DJ's there. No, it was like, oh, this crew's here.
Yeah.
This whole crew is here.
Yeah.
Like, the Chief Rock is here.
Yeah.
Chief Rockers were like the most commercial one out of the group.
That is very interesting. I was always wondering where this Chief Rocker came from. And I'm assuming this is where it came from.
Well, it came from the era of, 90s. I didn't club in the 90s.
Yeah.
I didn't club in the early 2000s. I clubbed mid-2000s when gas got shot up.
Yeah.
So I was old enough to go to... Oh, I wasn't old enough. I was big enough to go to gas. Yeah. So it's like my body was enough to go to gas. But the thing is, like, I've seen the industry change drastically in 15 years. Like, huge change. Like, the way people run clubs is so much different to the way people used to run clubs back then.
Yeah. Well,
promotion,
now it's in the digital age.
Exactly. Promotion is readily available.
Yeah.
But we've lost the essence of DJs. Like, I miss the old DJ crews having... Because that's what the thing was. It wasn't about, oh, my club's better than yours. It's like, no, my crew's better than yours. My squad's better than yours.
Yeah.
Like we had, our boys, like the Filipinos and the Islanders that we had back then in the Asian clubs, it was Misfits. Misfits was an honest name because none of the boys in that group should be in the same group.
Yeah.
They're all...
Misfits. Literally, they're all misfits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're all a bunch of misfits. Like, they're all just random bunch of puzzles put together. And DJ Rondog was, like, one of my favorite guys to go out with back then. And then, like, you'd have the DJ crews, right?
Yeah.
And the DJ crews would be the stability of the DJ promoter.
Yeah.
So, like, the club owner would be like, let's just say back then we had Urban Agent. I remember Pat used to run, like, Funky Boy and Pump House.
Yeah.
Urban Agent used to run Bamboo, Shanghai Nights when it used to be at Brooklyn Bar before it became what it is now. And they had Amber on Friday nights at the old V Bar.
Yeah.
And it's, and then Ian Reid, who is an absolute mogul in the game.
Yeah.
He killed the fucking scene. Like, he absolutely slaughtered and murdered the scene. Like, he knew how to run it.
Yeah.
In the city, at least. I never went out west because I didn't live out west.
Yeah.
But Ian Reid, he had Emmy Entertainment and he had everything on lock. So he had, like, he had, what was the other one? O2, which was at Martin Place Bar. So, funny enough, I never went to a fob club. I never went to a Red Room, if you must. I didn't go to Red Room until Magic City came about.
Yeah, I remember when Magic City was a thing.
Exactly. So, like, I went to Magic City in the last year of Magic City, and I'd only been to Red Room twice in my whole life.
Yeah.
I actually have a really, really, really bad memory with my cousin Patrick Seo. I hooked up with this one chick.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Funny story, right? So we're at Martin Place Bar. I'm like, I always used to work for free for everyone. I just did it because I loved helping out.
Yeah, for sure.
Red Room was across the road, so I never went to Red Room. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's the shit." I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I fucking went once or twice in my whole life."
And it was pretty shit.
I was just full of fobs.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I was never working in fob clubs. I was always working in other clubs.
Yeah,
like Asian clubs. Like, Uriel is another person, MC, who taught me everything I know about, like, MCing and picking your pockets and the art of MCing.
Yeah.
That crew is still doing shit. Like, Embassy, that's still...
Oh, Embassy, bro. They're still popping,
boys, those boys are still doing it, and they're still killing it. Like, I've got so much love for that crew.
Bro, they've kind of monopolized the market in the
Asian market.
In the Asian market.
They've OG. Yeah, well, they're the OGs. You know what I mean? Like,
they're still going, bro. I mean, you've got OPM, but, like, OPM doesn't compare with what Embassy is.
Embassy is the last standing club from that era.
Yeah, for sure. Because you have
MVP is it's been standing for a while. Yeah, 100%. But Embassy's been around for 15, 16 years.
for
Like Gas
sure.
got shot up, T2, and all that tank and all that killed off. Privilege actually was the biggest one back then on a Friday night. I miss Privilege, and then they revamped it at V-Bar, and that was the shit.
Yeah.
All these old clubs were built on promoters' reputation,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
DJ crews bringing that. So back then, DJs used to push a lot harder, a lot harder, not just for their music but for their crews.
For the cruise, yeah.
And so like you had like DJ Tickles and Peter Gunn.
Tickles,
They
yeah,
did the
yeah.
Fresh Off the Boat series.
Mm.
Black Label, they used to do the Black Label, you know, like their ones.
Mm.
All Stars mixtapes. You had like Fingers Crossed mixtapes.
Yeah.
Everyone had their hustle.
For sure.
And then obviously with the social media era, the only crew that lasted or created was the Always On Point crew.
Mm.
So you had is basically all the actually Moser actually a really good mixtape maker,
Mm.
but like in my personal opinion, Sip Slow, aka Mr. C, the original mascot, or let's just say the fucking OG Eastern party dropper. Like you know that Tooted and Booted song?
Yeah, tooted and booted. Yeah.
That's the era where Eastern was popping, and Wednesday night, that's where it's at. Like
yeah.
Like if you doesn't matter where you're from the West, you knew I see
Yeah.
at the Eastern.
Yeah.
I lived at the fucking Eastern.
Yeah.
But Mr. C was he was the guy to bring it home every night.
Yeah, right.
And the anthem, back then, when we first started kicking it, was Tooted and Booted.
I love that song.
Like, literally, if anyone goes, oh, the Eastern, you know, remember I go, yeah, the anthem for the Eastern was Tooted and Booted, and there was a dance to it as well. That's back in the days when the boys used to dance. Like, I remember, like, my mate Dez, Anthony,
Yeah.
like, my Anthony Lord, like, my Asian mates.
Yeah.
Now, these two are the funniest cunts drunk, but boy, could they dance. I try
Yeah.
to dance. I try to act like I can dance. You know, I got a couple grooves, but, I mean,
But you got rhythm in your body,
I
bro.
do have rhythm. It's
Yeah.
it's embedded in me as a Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
But at the time, like, I was this, you know, this ruthless kid. Funny enough, the second time I came out of jail, right, and my friend Kimmy, or my sister, as most people know her, because she's literally like, she's not the type I would fuck. She's so pretty. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But she's literally like my sister.
Yeah.
I got out of jail the second time, and the first thing she did was throw a party.
Yeah.
Like I had a birthday.
Like a throwback party, you know.
it was more like a welcome back party.
Oh, welcome back party. Yeah.
So I went there and I was an absolute hard cunt. Like I came out of the system and I thought, yeah, I'm the man, you know, I'm the man. And I had a knife in my back pocket. So I was still in jail mode, mentally.
Right.
I was still like on guard. And then we went in and like I was drinking, I got drunk. And mind you, I've been in jail for 6 months, so I hadn't had a proper drink.
Yeah.
I hadn't had any drop.
Yeah.
I went too hard, too fast, went to the toilet, stabbed someone. They put me in the disabled toilets downstairs. I remember this part only. And my sister Kimmy was there. And the cops came and like they saved me from getting arrested because they knew I just got out of the system.
Right.
Like the guards there loved me. We were all family.
Yeah.
And then I remember waking up in Kimmy's mum's house, like, and I slept with Kimmy, like, I just wake up and I go, oh, what happened? She's like, oh, you fucking stabbed someone in the toilet. I was like,
Oh shit.
I woke up and I'm like,
Oh.
like I still had my clothes on. And this is how I like when people go, oh no, that's not your sister. I go, no, that's my sister. Like I slept next to her, fully clothed, and nothing happened. Like I was fucking tanked. And she saved my life.
Yeah.
So she threw a party and literally saved my life from going
But
back
hey,
in.
man, respect to Kimmy for putting it out.
Yeah,
there,
man.
bro.
She's had some. She's dated some Samoans, my brothers, my boys, and that. They know who they are. I don't want to mention names because I love them all.
For sure.
But if anyone wants to fucks with her, and,
I'm sure you've lived that life.
Oh,
now,
100%.
bro.
If anyone wants to go up against her, I mean, you just look at me and turn around and know that. Yeah, you already know. If you know. You know. you don't want to start a war you can't finish.
You don't want smoke, boy.
Oh, what smoke?
But
cigarette? I need a cigarette. We've been drinking for like half an hour.
Yeah, but
Actually,
in saying that, we're gonna wrap this up now. Part 2. Thank you guys for watching The Art of Development. I hope you guys kind of got a little taste of what the industry was like.
It'll come back. I promise. I'll bring it back. You watch.
Yeah,
Mark already knows.
Five. No, I reckon in like the next year.
Chestnut checkers, baby. Chestnut checkers.
Hashtag check.
Chestnut
checkers.
Mate, how much have you had?
I'm dyslexic. No, I'm just dyslexic as fuck.
I'm
bro.
Lex Dix.
Yeah, I just like Duke. But hey, follow me at subscribe to the YouTube channel, Art of Development.
That's how you
Follow
know
me
he's
at
drunk.
Mark,
You can't even say his bloody
Polinar.
line.
Shut up, bro. Don't tell him that.
Don't follow me. Just go for his page because I'll be on there anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.
Let's go.
Much peace. Much love. Peace.